Oh, hey guys. Welcome to another Oh, hey guys. I'm your host, Drew Harrison. Appreciate you joining me on this gloomy, just cloudy, rainy, cold Monday. Where's the sun at? I could use some sun in my life. Need some sun. Where's the sun at? Despite the doom and gloom weather, we got a fun show for you. We got Comedian Discovery dropping in for another This Week in Comedy. So we got some fun comedy specials for you to check out. I also tried the new SpongeBob SquarePants Bikini Bottom Bundle at Burger King. That's a mouthful. It was actually way better than it should be, so check that out. And what you eating? Got top 5 sports TV shows for you, so stay tuned for that. See? Big show. So much fun. So without further ado, let's get into it. K&W Cafeteria is closing. They've been open since 1937. Just doesn't hit the same if your grandparents aren't there with you and or paying for it. Loved going down the little line, picking out your green beans, your potatoes, your mystery meat with that delicious gravy on top of it. Nom, 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 nom. They announced the performers for the New Year's Rockin' Eve on whatever channel it's on nowadays. I don't know. You got Chaperone, you got Post Malone. Of course, Mariah Carey's going to be there. It is her season after all. You also got 50 Cent, Charlie Puth, One Republic, Demi Lovato, Maren Morris, and Mr. 305 himself. Pitbull's going to be there. I mean, they do have like 5 hours they got to kill. So this is just scratching the surface. I'm sure they'll have plenty of other performers lining up to entertain us on New Year's Eve. I wonder what the stats are looking like. I wonder if more people are staying in for New Year's Eve or if they're going out. So let me know in the comments below what your New Year's Eve plans are, you know, for science. I'm hyped this week. The Stuart Scott 30 for 30 drops on ESPN. It's just in time for Jimmy V week because, I mean, screw cancer. Am I right? I'm super looking forward to this documentary. Stuart Scott is a big reason why I'm behind this microphone right now. His Booyah brand of sports commentator just made it fun. You know, you didn't care if you were watching the same Sports Center for the third time that day. You found something new in each episode because he was just so charismatic. Had so much depth to his commentating. It's just he's greatly missed. And if you thought Jimmy V's cancer talk couldn't be topped, as far as tearjerkers go, Stuart took that and leveled up as well. There's a Bears fan that has 157 players and coaches' signatures tattooed on his body. He said his favorite so far was Mike Ditka, of course, but he also revealed that Jim McMahon has said he will never be one of those players or coaches tattooed on him. Quite the hobby, my dude. Quite the hobby. Pat McAfee dropped a new song. Yeah, the sports commentator is getting into music. He said it was a long time coming, I guess. I'm going to have to get one of y'all to tell me how it is. I can't bring myself to listen to it. So y'all going to have to tell me if it's trash or not. I mean, I'm assuming. I mean, kudos for him for making music. I can't write a song. So I did hear it was called Dookie though. So I'm going to temper expectations that were already tempered. In Auckland, New Zealand, police end a 6-day wait for a Fabergé egg that was swallowed. They knew they swallowed it, but he was like, They're like, well, we're going to have to wait and see how this plans out. Can you imagine being backed up for 6 days with the added pressure that the cops are waiting for you to go? That's Hemorrhoid City, my guy. The Fabergé egg was inspired by the 1983 James Bond film Octopussy. I remember being a kid watching that and being like, can I say that? I don't know if I can say that. I mean, they're saying it on TV, but I don't think I can say it. But we got a great show for you, so while we wasting time, let's go ahead and get into it. It's my favorite topic. We got sports. It's sports time. English Premier League soccer check-in. Erling Haaland is the fastest player to reach 100 goals. Only took him 111 games. 111 games to get 100 goals. Alan Shearer, who is widely considered the greatest scorer in Premier League history, took 124 games to get 100 goals. He still has the record for most in the league ever at 260, but I got a feeling Haaland, unless he goes to like La Liga, plays for Real Madrid or something, he gonna decimate that record. Messi leads Inter Miami to their first MLS Cup. Sir David Beckham, that's right, Sir David Beckham, becomes the first person to be a player and owner to win the MLS Cup. So kudos to Sir David Beckham. Men's college basketball, Iowa State hands number 1 Purdue their first loss of the season in truly record form. Biggest loss by number 1 team ever. 23 points. Like, granted, Iowa State was number 10, so, I mean, they're legit too, but, like, 23 points. NBA news now. Zion Williamson out of action for quite some time. He will be reevaluated in 3 weeks for a right adductor strain. And I'm keeping a close eye on this Chris Paul Clippers drama. He doesn't like the coach. He was sent home. This is supposed to be his last year. He wanted to retire with the Clippers. Don't know if that's going to happen now. So interesting to see what happens with that going forward. And then also talking about team and player drama, Giannis deleting all of mentions of the Bucks on his social media. So don't know if he's fed up with losing. He did get injured the other night, so I don't know if he's going to miss some time. So just a lot to see in the NBA. Do some stars get reshuffled? Do some people we're used to seeing on teams have different teams all of a sudden? It's going to get real interesting around here real fast. Baseball news, the AL East keeps stockpiling pitchers. The Blue Jays add Korean League MVP Cody Ponce. That's right, he's an American. He played for the Pirates in 2021, but he went overseas and did work. In his MVP last season, he was 17-1 with a 1.89 ERA and 252 strikeouts. Yeah, I'd say let's give him another shot. Let's see how it is. But yeah, the Red Sox and Blue Jays are stockpiling pitchers. The Yankees hope to get some of their stars back from injury last year. It's going to be an interesting time to see if anyone can hit anything off these teams from the American League East. And I'm sure you've seen it by now. The college football playoff bracket is out, and Notre Dame is pissed. They're not going to play in the bowl game. I think Kansas State, Iowa State, they both said they're not playing in a bowl game. I saw Baylor today is not playing in a bowl game. There's rumors going around that they tried to get a bunch of teams to play Georgia Southern, a bunch of 5 and 7 teams that weren't even bowl eligible, and a bunch of those teams said no thank you. So now App State's going to do it, and they're in the same conference as Georgia State. So bowl season is already looking ridiculous, and I don't know if the other bowls are going to survive. If all these teams that don't make it into the playoffs don't want to go bowling, then I don't know how these small bowls survive. Or if they need to survive, really. If we have the college football playoffs, let's have that. Let's enjoy that. Do we really need to see a bunch of 6-6 teams battle it out in the AutoZone Bowl? I don't know. I don't know what the answer to that is. But I do know a sign of Vanderbilt cementing their legitimacy is they got a quarterback to flip to them from Georgia. Now, he was a Nashville native, but he decided to stay at home, go to school, help Vanderbilt continue the success. 5-star quarterback, Jacob Curtis. So staying in town, going to Vanderbilt, and hoping, continuing their winning ways. Texas Tech takes the Big 12, Georgia takes the SEC, and Duke takes the ACC. It was fun to see Indiana upset Ohio State. I know it was 1 versus 2. It's hard to call it an upset. But like I saw someone say, the talent on paper between Ohio State and Indiana is such a big gap that, yes, this was an upset that Indiana beat them. Very intrigued to see how these playoffs shake out. I'm pulling for JMU and Tulane. Let's cause some chaos. Let's get some mid-majors in there, winning some games, disrupting the status quo. What a week for NFL. Before we even get started, Herbert did indeed have surgery on that hand, but I do think he's planning on playing tonight on Monday Night Football. I think he's getting his running back, Omarion Hampton, back, so that's going to be a big shot in the arm for the Chargers. Before the week started, Adam Thielen was cut by the Vikings, but picked up by the Steelers, so I'm hoping he at least gets a little bit more action, because he did say that this year would be his last. Speaking of Steelers, they decided to part ways with Darius Slay. He was picked up by the Bills, but he is not reporting. He is unsure of his football future and would like some time to think it over. And the rumors swirling around about Mike Tomlin possibly not being the coach of the Steelers is crazy work. That man, at the very least, has earned our grace and our time, and my man can make his decision on his own. And the Steelers too. He has been nothing but a winning coach for so long, especially in a sport where it's easy to just start over and blame the coach and get a new coach, knowing that new coach is walking into a shit show and is not going to be any better. Mark Andrews secures the bag. The 30-year-old tight end gets a 3-year extension with Baltimore. $26 million guaranteed. Good for you, big fella. Lions hurt the Cowboys' playoff chances on Thursday night. Good to see the Lions offense just roaring. I didn't even say that. That's funny. But the NFC is nothing but a big question mark, with Detroit looking iffy week to week. Seattle staying consistent, but also remembering that Sam Darnold can have a Sam Darnold game at any point. And Green Bay looking better, and Philly, still the champ until proved otherwise. So NFC, especially the playoffs, like just this particular week, the Chicago Bears lost to the Packers, and they went from the number 1 seed to the 7th seed. You see how tightly these NFC teams are record-wise, fighting for these 7 spots to get into the playoffs. Zach Ertz feared to have torn his ACL. Jaden Daniels also takes another shot to that injured elbow, and he did not return as the Commanders just got blown out by J.J. McCarthy and the Vikings. It was mainly their run game, but J.J. McCarthy still is looking like he is improving. And in the AFC side, it was a fun playoff-esque snow day in Buffalo with Joe Jabura leading his Bengals into Buffalo, but taking the L because Josh Allen did Josh Allen things. Plus those back-to-back INTs from Burrow did not help. Watch out now, the Titans got their second win. They took out Shedeur Sanders and the Browns on a questionable 2-point conversion. The Browns came trotting back after the Titans took a lead. It was down to the wire there at the end. All they needed to do, I know it's easier said than done, all they needed to do was get the 2-point conversion. But Shedeur wasn't even on the field for it, and it failed. And got some people thinking it might be time for an old coaching change in Cleveland. Jags in pole position in the AFC South. They took out the Colts, and unfortunately, it looks like Daniel Jones' season's done. He has an Achilles injury. He was nursing that fracture on his left leg, tore his Achilles on his right. That's just terrible. Terrible overcompensating injury. You hate to see it because my man was cruising this year. That's it for sports. Oh, man, they are blessing us with a fantastic holiday season. We get NFL on Christmas. We get NBA on Christmas because, remember, Christmas is theirs. So I'm excited to see all the great entertainment to hang out and watch with your family. So I say we just enjoy it and kick back and excited. And I'm going to be happy as long as the Panthers stay competitive these last couple weeks. All right, let's get a couple wins over the Saints and Bucks. All right, do it for the division. It's time for This Week in Comedy, presented by Comedian Discovery. Go check him out on Instagram at Comedian Discovery. And now on YouTube, collaborating with up-and-coming comedians to get the good word of their comedy specials out and about to the public. So go check them out. You might find your new favorite comedian. December 1st, Charlie Barron's dropped Neighborly on YouTube. You gotta love the Chicago hate right up top. I personally don't hate Chicago, but my man's from Wisconsin, so I just appreciate the commitment to the bit, He's got a fantastic "we don't call 911" joke right up top that had me in tears. His grandma was there. Just a Midwest delight. December 4th, Sam Evans dropped Down a Mom. Now, that title is not conducive to funny thoughts, but he brings it home, Did a weird bar show with Sam in Huntsville, Alabama back in 2016, 17, somewhere in there. It was him and Mike Cronin from Cincinnati. He's just a good old Cincy boy, and Cincy's got a fantastic comedy scene. He's up in New York now, killing it, and this special was nothing short of that. It's truly special when a comic can take pain and spin it into funny. So kudos, Sam. Sorry for your loss. December 10th is Kanal C. Aurora's YouTube special, Tales from a New Yorker. I met him at the 2014 Cape Fear Comedy Festival, I think, somewhere in there. I was a baby comic, and they let us Wilmington comics host, and he did fantastic, super nice guy. It was shot by a homeless pimp who is building up quite the resume. He just did Gaffigan's Bourbon special that dropped out of nowhere, and it's a pandemic reshoot, so we all have something from back then that we'd like to redo, and I'm glad he gets to redo it because I'm sure the jokes are hilarious. He's very personable. He's the definition of a comic on stage, making it feel like a conversation. And December 12th, we got Darius Day, black kid from Iowa. Fantastic name. I love it. And it's always refreshing to hear another grown man call it Putin, because that's what we called it in our house. It's not farting, you Putin. Why you Putin over there? Who pooted? He got the Kill Tony nod a couple of years ago, even with Rogan on the panel. I think he had Rogan and Segura, so that's, murder's row up there. So it's fantastic. I appreciate his delivery. It lets the joke writing speak for itself. as do I as well. So it's nice to see comics cut from the same cloth. So go check out Darius Day, black kid from Iowa. And that's This Week in Comedy, presented by Comedian Discovery. Go check him out on Instagram, and go check out a live show in and around Nashville if you happen to get the chance. He puts on bangers. Make sure you go check out his collaboration playlist on the YouTube as well. Who lives in a pineapple under the sea?
SpongeBob SquarePants.
Apparently he lives at Burger King now. So we got a What You Eating with the SpongeBob. It's called the Bikini Bottom Bundle. All in all, it comes with a Krabby Patty with a different bun. It's like a Whopper, I feel like, with just this weird yellow bun. But it seems fresher than most, so it could be a good thing. I got this early on. Comes with some cheesy bacon tots. Comes with Patrick's some kind of pie here that was very difficult to get into. Hence, why I've ripped it open. It is Patrick Starr's berry shortcake pie, and then it comes with a pineapple frosty kind of thing that's already separated on me from the solids and the liquids. So it's got a cool little cream top to it. I am trying to stay away from fast food these days, but this just caught my eye. It's just ridiculous in the best way possible. It's promoting the new SpongeBob movie, which didn't think we'd be getting a new SpongeBob movie in 2025, 2026. So I'm excited about it. So here we go. Nothing off about the burger. That's your standard Whopper with cheese. Fantastic. I think the Whopper is one of the best burgers in the game because it actually kind of feels like you cooked it outside. I don't know. A lot more bun ratio, though. This bun is way bigger than the normal Whopper bun, but it's soft and you can actually get through it. It's not stale. Hadn't been sitting on the shelves for a while. All right, those tots where it's at. Do y'all remember the old scramblers? The breakfast scramblers? They were like bacon, egg, and cheese inside a pastry. They're like a bacon, egg, and cheese Pop-Tart. It's exactly what this tastes like in the best way possible. Man, you get all the cheese, you get all the bacon, you get the tater tot. That's like a loaded baked potato tater tot right there. That is Mr. Krabs doing it right. Let's get a little bit of this pineapple shake to wash it down. That is very refreshing. I thought it was going to be way too sweet, but I could drink like 3 or 4 of these by the beach or the pool somewhere. Maybe in Bikini Bottom. I don't know. All right, let's get into this pie. Not bad. That is pretty good. As far as it goes for like fast food desserts, that's pretty spot on. You get the pie crust is actually pretty chewy and good. Has a real shortcake feel about it. So it definitely hitting the strawberry shortcake. And then of course you can put Cool Whip on a flip flop and I'll eat it. So that's fantastic. I am very surprised with how good this meal is. I expected to be ragging on it. The lady in the drive-thru even gave me she was like, "Do you want a SpongeBob crown?" I was like, "Of course I want a SpongeBob crown." Comes in this really cool SpongeBob house. I'll tell you, if the cheesy tots were a normal thing, like if they put this on the menu, I might swing through and get these every now and then. That is top notch as far as fast food size go. So it's your standard Whopper with just a bigger, a more full bun. These tots are fantastic. I'm giving these tots a 10. These are loaded baked potato tater tots. I mean, you can't get any better than that. The burger's your standard Whopper. It's just a lot more bread, so I'll give it like a 8. And the pie is very good. I'll give the pie a 7. And then, I mean, this is just refreshment on refreshment. I'm giving this a 9. This pineapple is top notch. So I don't know where you're at with fast food these days. You know, it's not really convenient. It's not really cost effective. This whole shebang was $16. But if you're in for a little treat, you're feeling a little SpongeBobby, go get you a crown at Burger King. Check out the SpongeBob Whopper and all of the accessories. All right, top 5 time. And today we're mixing 2 of my favorite things, television and sports. Let's do top 5 sports TV shows. Oh, sometimes they're terrible. Sometimes they're cheesy. Sometimes they're just cheesy enough to be entertaining. Sometimes they're too real. Y'all remember Playmakers from ESPN? They hadn't had a scripted show since then. NFL shut that down quick. But every now and then they get it just right, giving us a must-watch TV show sprinkled in with just the right amount of sports. Now, while TV and sports go way back, most early sports TV was like a variety show with like a cool sports feed sprinkled in. And oddly enough, the first TV shows about sports were about the rodeo. In the 60s, they had shows like Wide Country and Stony Brook, where they just highlighted bull riders, I guess. I don't know. So without further ado, let's get into our countdown. Let's get those honorable mentions out of the way first. First up, we got Coach. 9 seasons with fictional football coach Hayden Fox at a fake university. Go Screaming Eagles, am I right? And also in the honorable mention category, we got Friday Night Lights. Now, before you come at me saying this is your favorite sports TV show, calm down. I just prefer the movie. You know what I mean? You can't give me Tim McGraw and Billy Bob Thornton and then take them away from me and expect me to still like it. I just never caught on with the TV show, but kudos for 5 seasons. That's awesome. At number 5, we got Shoresy. You mean Letterkenny with a hockey background? Yeah. The only thing that kept the show from being higher in the countdown is they didn't have Riley and Jonesy on the hockey team with them. Because their trash talking was just next level. Not their trash talking, the trash talking that Shoresy would give to them. Classic. Follows the Sudbury Bulldogs from the No-Show League, Northern Ontario Senior Hockey Organization. I had the honor of playing beer league roller hockey, and man, they had some characters, so this show checks out 100%. At number 4, we got Eastbound and Down. Jody Hill plus Danny McBride just equals gold. Of course, you know I love the Wilmington, Myrtle Beach backgrounds of the show in the first place. It just nailed it. We always wondered what a washed-up former kind of terrible, real terrible person after baseball's life would be like, and we got it. Think John Rocker, you know? Throw in Will Ferrell cosplaying as Ric Flair, and what more can you ask for? At number 3, it is Blue Mountain State. Good old Spike TV banger. I miss that. I miss Spike TV. I never thought I'd say that, but I do. Series follows backup quarterback Alex Moran as he's just cruising through college life, enjoying being the backup. It's really all the perks with zero responsibility. You just show up to practice, throw the ball a little bit, and then you sit on the bench. But then he is reluctantly thrust into the number 1 spot when the quarterback gets hurt. He don't want to be there, but everyone loves him except the coach. The coach cannot stand him, and that adds such a truly hilarious dynamic. But he's got his mascot best friend and also the captain of the team, linebacker Thad Castle. I think you know him now as Jack Reacher, but this is the role he was meant to play. Thad Castle, Blue Mountain State. Number 2, we got The League in the middle of a rewatch, and it's just as good as it's ever been. They're truly terrible people. Like, I love a show where you don't pull for anybody. You just get to laugh and sit back and enjoy the truly terrible things that happen to truly terrible people. Which is funny because it's a character-based show, because how else would you get 7 seasons out of a fantasy football league? Number 1, the cream of the crop as far as I'm concerned, as far as sports TV shows go, it's Ted Lasso. I don't think any show on this list made me tear up as much as Ted Lasso. I had the privilege of having a couple of Lasso-esque coaches over the years, and it truly makes a big difference. You know, I definitely enjoyed those years way more than the stereotypical shit coach. It started off as a show about a coach that was just such a good person, he was able to bring a team together in a sport he didn't know anything about. Then the second season comes around and there's more depth around the characters. You're pulling for more people. You're actually kind of worried about Ted because he kind of takes an emotional backseat as far as main characters go. And then that third season rolls around and you're just crying your eyes out at every episode. Sometimes in a good way, sometimes in a sad way, but mostly good ways. And that is our top 5 sports TV shows. Let me know in the comments what your favorite TV show about sports was. Let me know what top 5 you'd like to do next. And that's it for our show this week, guys. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, starting your week off with me. We'll be back next Monday, getting geared up for the holiday season. Hope y'all are keeping a cool head out there. I know it's easy to get mad at people because you're upset about things, but just take a deep breath and just remember it's not that cashier's fault that you're out in inclement weather last minute because you decided to wait too long, all right? Just remember, guys, we're all weird. It's way more fun when we're weird together. We'll see you next time.